today's Geeks for Geeks problem of the day. ASCII Range Sum. Given a string is consisting of lowercase English letters for every character whose first and last sequences are at different positions. Calculate the sum of ASCII values of characters strictly between the first and last sequence. Return all such non-zero sums. Okay, so basically we have a string, and for each character which is occurring multiple times, take the first occurrence and the last occurrence. Like for A is occurring at 0th index, and lastly it's occurring at the uh, second last index, right? So I have take the sum of all the characters which are between the first and last occurrence of a character and take the ASCII sums, right? So I will take ASCII sum of B, A, and C. So it will make a sum which is 294, and similarly B is also occurring multiple times, so I will take the ASCII sum of A, C, A, right? So it will be 293. And similarly for this case, A is occurring two times, I will take ASCII sum of C and D, and then C is also occurring two times, I will take the ASCII sum of D and A. So this will be the answer. um, Problem is quite simple. I just have to see the first and last occurrences and take the sum. Okay. Now, if you have ever used prefix summary, then you must have um approach to solve this problem. Basically, in what why we use prefix sum is just to calculate the range sum in often time, right? I just have to take often time to calculate the prefix array, and then whenever I need a range sum between L and R, I just have to take the differences of the prefix sum. Accordingly, we easily find the range sum between L and R, right? Okay, so the same thing we have to do here also. I just have to take the prefix sum between the first and last occurrence this time. Now, if I'm at any index, I'm at index 0, it is A, then I must have idea of the last occurrence of A also, right? If I do not know the what is the last occurrence of A, then what I need to do, I have to make a loop from the first index to the last time I get a, right? And similarly, I can also find the sum of the all the between characters, right? So basically, as a brute force approach, what I can do, I will traverse over the string one by one, and whenever I get a unique character which I have never get before, I will just start taking some of elements which are occurring next to it, and I will end until I get a last occurrence of that character, right? And I just if the sum is greater than 0, because we just have to store non-zero sum, and then I just store into my answer, I just return. So it can be a approach as a brute force. I have to spend often square time, and to store the answer, it would be often, which is not really considered, because the answer is different thing, and the space which counts is the auxiliary space, that is extra space, right? So it would have often space, but it is taking off in a square time, right? I have to optimize. I can't submit in off in a square time for this much size constraint, right? So I can do, like, I can apply prefix sum to efficiently calculate the sum, right? Which are of the characters which are occurring between the first and last occurrence. But then also I will be requiring the last occurrence of that character, right? Like I'm A at 0 index, then I must have information of the last occurrence, that okay, where the last occurrence of A is, right? So A is at index number 4. I must have know this at index 0. So for that also I have to store the last occurrence of each of the character, right? So I have done the same thing. Okay, so this is a first approach you can see in the left side. So what I'm doing the same thing. I made a prefix array, and I just storing the sky values in the sum, in the prefix sum, and I'm also storing the last occurrence of the each of the character in the map. And basically at the end, I will traverse over the complete string, and whenever I get a unique character which never occurred before, I will just take the prefix sum difference, and it would give me the sum of all the uh, elements sky values which are occurring between the first and last seconds. And I'm storing into a map which is mapping for each of the character, the uh, and the sum value, right? So this is, if you analyze this solution, then you will find that okay, it's fine that I'm using prefix sum array to easily calculate the sum between the two occurrences, right? But it is taking off n time, which is like fine. We can submit in off n time, and it's taking space of n, which is also fine for a coding platform. It will also be submitted. But if you are in an interview, right? So this solution will be, interview will not be satisfied with, right? He or she will suggest you to optimize this problem further. You can reduce the space complexity of this problem. You can better solve this problem in often space, right? So for that, if we are using the prefix sum, then I have to spend often time, often space, right? Always. So I have to remove this logic. I have to remove the prefix array from our uh, solution. So for that, I have to find a different approach to solve. Now, if you carefully observe that how much at max our unique these characters can be. So it can be of at max 26 unique characters, right? Because 26 letters only in the alphabet. So basically, if we like I'm storing the last occurrence, so if I somehow store the first occurrence of each of the characters also, right? Then what I can do, I will iterate over the all the unique characters only which are occurring in the string, right? And for each unique character, which can be at max 26 characters, so I will iterate over the array from left to right, basically from the first occurrence to the last occurrence, and I will take the sum and I will store into the answer if its sum is greater than zero, right? It can be possible because only 26 character at max in the string, and I just have to traverse over the uh, string in often time at max 26 times, right? So it would lead to a time complexity of n into 26, which is considered as often time itself. And this time we are not requiring any extra space also. So it's a better solution, and right now it's a most optimal solution I can say for this problem, because we can't optimize it further to log in time. Actually, I'm already using only off one space. So this is most optimal solution you will ever find for this problem. I'm just using this time a better approach. I'm not calculating the prefix because I do not require to use any extra space for this problem. So I will iterate over the map all the, I will taking all the first and last occurrence of the character and take the sum between these two occurrences, which will taking at max often time, but it will be requiring to iterate over the array only at max 26 times. So it would be a optimal approach, an easy one. This approach is a lot easier to understand and code than this approach. This is also taking more space, and it's little bit complex to understand, but it's a fine solution also. If you able to find this solution during any interview, or maybe you are giving online assessment or any contest, then it would be also a fine solution. Interviewer may not be satisfied with this solution, but this is also a sufficient solution for an interview, right? Okay, hope it's clear to you.